Thank you for checking out the Brighter Light Podcast. This is Anthos and the homie Kelly, and this is episode 12.
That's crazy.
I know.
1 dozen.
That's what, 3 months?
Yeah, well, I don't know because I wasn't here at first. It was just solo.
Yeah, it's 3 months.
3 months, that's a long time.
Yeah. And the episodes are getting better and better.
I agree. I claim to be the reason, of course.
You are a major part of the reason.
Not that I'm not modest.
Another reason is I'm getting better at putting aside my bad habits.
Oh, what are your bad habits?
I'm not going to tell you.
No, I need to know.
I don't want the audience to know.
Okay. You can tell me later.
In case they haven't noticed them, I don't want to pinpoint them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so
I think everybody knows my bad habit is my lack of modesty.
It's not a bad habit. How's everything?
Everything's good. Been all over the place today, but got home in time to do this, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, good. I'm glad that you have time to do this.
Got my puppy laying on my lap. Life is. I said I have my little puppy laying on my lap. Life is good.
Oh, nice. So, in lightening things up a little bit,
yeah.
You know, we got a little deep for a moment last week, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Autumn
was awesome.
My dear Autumn.
Yes, what a sweet pea.
I know, I love her to death.
I know. After all she's been through, and such a lovely woman. I'm very proud of her.
So, I thought today that we would do something a little different. And our friend Janis is going to join us.
Good.
And I don't know if you know, but Janis and I have known each other for over 20 years.
I did know that. I did.
She's such a very good friend of mine. I love her to death.
That's neat.
And we're just going to talk about the old times, our experiences in the same congregation, and share notes, or what's that expression?
Compare notes.
Compare notes, and it should be fun.
I'm excited. I feel like I'm going to be a fly on the wall listening to your old stories.
You're totally going to be a fly on the wall listening to the things, and I think you'll be very amused.
I may ask Janis about your bad habits.
Actually, Janis is with us. Hey, Janis.
Oh, good. Glad to be here.
Welcome here.
Are you going to talk like a robot the entire time? Hello, I'm glad to be here.
Oh, stop that. That's just me. Get over it. I think maybe you want me to say, hey, bitches.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's more like it. So glad to have you on here. I was telling the audience, Kelly, how much of a dear old friend you are of mine, and how much fun that this is going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
So he mentioned that he's known you for 20 years, so he must have met you when you were 2.
Aw, thank you.
He's quite an old man, but you look quite young.
I'm older than I look. How old are you, Anthony?
Younger than you.
Uh,
That's all I'm gonna say.
Quite.
That's all I'm gonna say. Not that much younger than you. We're about the same age, but I not technically, I am younger.
okay.
I'm the youngest here.
No.
I knew Kelly would jump on it.
So see, it's my age that causes them. It's my age that causes them to have that respect. Respect your elders and all of that.
So if I was a little older, you'd be nicer to me in my headphone problems?
I am so nice to you.
On
This
some
little
level, I
actor.
suspect you enjoy it, Kelly.
Whatever do you mean?
Because Anthony's abuse is special.
I think that I abuse
Robot, you know what I'm saying? I did it with love.
I think that I abuse him more, other than the headphones thing. I'm not very nice to him.
Right. You are so nice to me. This is a big old love fest on
Aw.
this episode.
I kind of like him. He's all right.
Janice and I went to the same congregation over 20 years ago. Back in, I think I met you in 1993.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was an infant.
Yep.
And I had your mom already. Anthony, I had known your mom already, but this is the first time I was meeting you.
Yeah, you did know my mom already, because you guys all lived in the same.
Yeah.
Where I moved over there.
That whole corner had like 3 buildings that were all Jehovah's Witnesses.
And I moved in.
Actually, the whole street was.
It was.
You know what?
across-
I grew up like that too. In our very first neighborhood, there were 4 witnesses in a row. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's great if you're stuck in the cult. It's
Right.
fucking amazing. But could you imagine? Well, actually, I can't imagine. I became disfellowshipped while I was over there, and so I had this thing to where every time I left the house, I had to look around first.
Oh.
Make sure I didn't have to be in an awkward situation and walk by somebody.
Right.
Duck back in there if somebody happened to be walking. Whoop, go back in the house really quick.
That's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
I know.
You having to sneak around in case you might contaminate somebody.
Oh my goodness, I felt the same way when I was first disfellowshipped. I mean, somebody would see me that didn't know, and I would, hang my head in shame and say, "I'm disfellowshipped. You can't speak to me. I'm disfellowshipped."
Hey, did you guys, Janice, you're not disfellowshipped, right?
No, not that
Okay,
I know
see.
of.
Right. So, Kelly, did you ever do the thing? Did you do the typical disfellowship, hang your head and kind of look down at the floor out of respect, like, I don't want to make this person uncomfortable
Yes.
thing?
And I was also ashamed.
Yeah, I
was
used to do
very
that too.
ashamed. Because
God.
I
You
was
have to
such a believer.
apologize. Yeah, it's like you have to apologize every single time, over and over.
Over and over, just for existing.
Well, I was disfellowshipped at my brother's memorial, and no one would speak to me. And anyone who was there who was a family member, who wasn't a JW, then they would talk, but there wasn't very many of those. And there were all the people I grew up with, and they're like telling my mom stuff like, I'm 2 feet away, and they're like, tell Kelly we miss her and she needs to come back.
Get the fuck out
Not
of
kidding.
here.
Not kidding. Only one person who I loved dearly said, I know I'm going to get in trouble for this. And she wrapped her arms around me, known me since I was a baby, told me she
Nice.
loved me, and said, get your ass back.
And you know what? When you think about it, you very easily could have just skipped going to that.
No, not for me.
I mean, it wasn't a funeral.
It was the only
witness.
way that, it was the only goodbye for him. There was no
Okay.
funeral. Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because those things, as we talk about all the time, are never really a memorial of that person.
No,
Really.
No,
it's
it
just
wasn't.
it's a gigantic sales pitch.
Right.
Yeah.
I never asked my extended family what they thought of it either. I should ask them how they felt being there, because it was, a brother who gave the memorial talk, and it was not in a hall because my brother had committed suicide, and he wasn't allowed to have a memorial in the hall because of his
So ridiculous.
grave sin.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyways, Janice and I, we lived in the same. We were next door neighbors.
Yeah,
At
in
first.
the beginning we sure were.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I would come home from work and you guys would have dinner ready for me, and then we would play games. Remember?
Oh.
Yeah. We were such geeks.
That's
over
so nice,
junk.
though. That's so nice, especially if it was genuine. Which
Oh yeah,
you.
we Janice became fast friends with me and my wife. It was so organic and
Mhm.
quick.
Yeah, it just
I
happened.
Yeah, it was like we were relieved to have each other as friends. I think is what it was compared to what you could have as a neighbor.
Yep.
Like, wait, this chick is fucking cool though. She's a witness, but she's fucking cool.
Yeah, we would spend hours together.
Yeah, we would bond over music mainly, right?
Was it pagan music?
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah.
that satanic heavy metal.
oh, I love that stuff.
Janice always used to struggle with heavy metal.
You heathen struggle. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah, like we're
The
talking
more satanic it was, the more I liked it. So I would have these little heavy metal listening binges, and then I would pray to Jehovah for forgiveness.
Oh my god.
I became a headbanger for a while.
You what?
I became a headbanger for a while.
Hilarious.
That's awesome.
And then a head bower afterwards.
Right. Oh.
Too funny. So, Janice, you lived next door to us when we had the humongous earthquake in 93, 94.
Oh yes.
Was it?
Yep. And I remember
Do you remember that?
Maria was out of town. Maria,
Yeah, that's Malia's mom.
yeah,
Kelly.
a neighbor across the way. And I was house sitting for her, so I just invited everyone to come down, and we kind of hung out at their place all day waiting for aftershocks.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And I remember their place was destroyed too.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Janice and I got to a point to where the aftershocks, while everybody's getting terrified of each one, we were looking at each other like, this is cool.
That's probably a 3 or a 4. That's what we would do on the aftershocks.
People would
I lived down there too.
Yeah.
I lived down there in that area when that all happened. And
Oh, you were?
Oh yeah.
Where were you?
I was in Palm Springs, but we felt it really strongly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we
People felt it in other states.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they claimed it was a 6.7, but I heard that was a bullshit number because of for insurance purposes or
Really?
some kind of government aid if it has to be over so high to, I don't know, for some kind of kickback somehow. So they fudged it, claimed it was a 6.7 when it was really like a 7 point something.
Didn't it feel
That's
bigger?
right. It did. I thought that was the big one, Janice.
Me too. True story. I was laying in bed and all the shaking started to take place, and my heart was racing, but I very calmly said to myself, "Oh, so this is what Armageddon is like." But then I said to myself, "Now, no, wait a minute. The Great Tribulation didn't come. So what the heck is this?" Those are my first thoughts.
And was this all during the shaking that you had all these thoughts?
Yep.
It was a long quake. It lasted a long
time. I had time to have a thought process.
Right.
Yeah.
I ran out of the apartment, and my roommate was outside, completely naked.
You did?
I did. I was not naked. She was naked. Good thoughts there. And I ran back into her bedroom and grabbed a robe and ran back out. It was still shaking. For modesty's sake. I might die, but she won't have her boobie showing.
Oh,
that's wrong. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
During the shaking.
During the shaking.
And you know what's funny? How they always say, don't go outside during an earthquake. It's the worst thing you can do.
Bullshit.
What's the first thing? That's right. I ain't fucking staying in here.
Right.
And we spent a lot of time in the street that day.
Right.
There was no cars.
Yeah.
It was like one of those
if you're in an apartment building and there's, 4 stories above you or you're up there, you don't want to be in there because they're not exactly sturdy. Right. I ran my little butt out there, out the street where there was nothing around to hit me if it fell.
We were thinking.
Yeah, and I don't think there was any. There were some power lines that were right outside the building, and the pool was sloshing around, really crazy.
That was freaky to look
Water
at.
was everywhere.
And I saw the Milky Way for the first time.
How?
All the electricity
lights
was
are gone. Oh God.
Oh, that's right.
You totally see all the stars, and it was beautiful and creepy at the same time.
Yeah, because you don't get to see that out there because it's a very lit up city. So the skies, you don't see
No.
nearly as many stars.
Nope.
as if
You all
go
have to
desert.
come out to my house. I live out in the country, and we see it almost every night.
I bet you do.
Beautiful.
Where I live now is the same way.
Yeah, that's cool.
My first experience of actually talking to you, Janice.
Yes.
I think it was like the year anniversary of the riots or something, and they were expecting something to happen again or something out in LA, and it was on the news, and outside there was a helicopter just hovering, and we kind of like both went outside at the same time. You looked at me.
Oh my God, I don't know if I remember that. Okay, I thought I knew you already at that point.
You did.
Okay.
No, I thought we met that. I thought that was the first time. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe you did.
One of Anthony's first memories of you is
Right.
that day.
No, that's. What's your first memory, Janice?
Well, when you and your wife were walking on the balcony looking at the apartment to see if you wanted to rent it.
Oh, that would have to be the first time for sure. So we walked past your window or something?
I was actually downstairs on the other side. I think I was visiting somebody, and I just happened to be downstairs near the parking area, and I saw you guys.
But we didn't meet at that time.
I think we met a little while later, like later that day, because I think you guys came back with the apartment.
Right. And that was when what was the landlord's name?
Oh, I remember there was a Helen, but I'm not.
Helen Skiro.
Yes.
She was an old, like, Jewish Italian lady or something.
Yes.
And I remember like really struggling to pay the rent over there, and she was being patient with me, and the way that she would be like, she would just say it straight up, "Pay us." Okay, it's time, Anthony. Pay us.
She got after me for minor things, but there
all that heavy metal.
Right? I know. She was always accusing me of being loud, but I mean, I'm not gonna walk on.
Really?
I'm not gonna walk on my tippy toes.
You weren't loud.
No, I didn't.
It was the metal.
You're right, huh? All that Black Sabbath.
Oh my gosh, pagan devil music.
Yeah.
Our ways of indulging after the meetings and hanging out.
Oh yeah.
Drink a gigantic bottle of wine. Gigantic bottle of who made that wine? Gallo.
Yeah.
Gallo.
It was specifically Spagnotta.
Spagnotta. It was what?
That was the type of wine, Spagnotta.
I've not even heard of that.
Yeah. It's basically sangria.
Oh, got
right.
it, got it.
Yeah, that was red sangria. Is what the flavor was. The flavor. That's what it was like. It's like $5 for this gigantic bottle.
My grandmother used to drink that Carlo Rossini or something like that, and it came in gallon jugs.
Yeah,
it was like $3 or $4 for a gallon jug. And she loved it. She's like, "You want a glass of wine?" And she'd get a water glass and fill it.
No way.
She did. She was so cute. She was cute. But just one, she'd say.
So we went to the same congregation as well.
Yes.
Janice was the sister who gave the long, elaborate answers.
Oh.
Like comments.
So you actually paid attention and tried to make sense of it.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, yeah, you just had to go and tell everybody.
But that means you were really trying to figure it out. I mean, that's what that means.
I did a lot of research.
You did a lot of research. You clearly did. I'm surprised you didn't become an apostate at the time because of as much research as you did. Yeah,
but I was looking at things that the Watchtower Society was directing me to look at. I started looking at things on my own. Because there are subjects like the insight books. There are subjects where you go to that book for one topic, but you'll go over and over that topic. But then there's another topic that you won't ever study because the Watchtower Society doesn't talk about it. That's the stuff I was starting to look into. stuff that's plain old, clear as day in the publications, and yet it got me in trouble.
Wow. Yeah, it got you in trouble?
Yeah, because you're not supposed to concentrate on certain things.
So, do you remember which one of those things that you were concentrating on that they were saying, yeah, no?
I can't think of one in particular. But,
I remember the Mankind's Search for God book. Do you guys remember that one?
Yes.
I felt like I had researched all religions when I read that book. And obviously, Jehovah's Witnesses were the right one.
Right. It's funny. If you try to talk about another religion to a witness, their response is always, I've researched all the other religions.
Yep.
And I found out, motherfucker, you barely researched the one you're in.
You were born an asshole.
Right.
Yeah. I love it.
I happen to know that you have a learning disability and you hate me. How the fuck you research all these religions?
That's cool.
I have books on tape from the society. And you're right. I remember always doing my, quote unquote research in the Insight book. Always.
But remember before that, it was the Aid book, that big blue one.
But the Insight book, they were different. They had differing information.
Right. So then we were discouraged from looking at the Aid book.
Right.
Yeah,
New Light.
Right.
There's more New Light.
Raymond Francis is one of the authors of it, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't he say that there was inconsistencies?
Yeah.
And that's. But what was the little blue one that was about? Wasn't the little blue one about all the other religions? Or was it a red one, like a little red book? That gave you an outline of all the other religions.
I thought that was Mankind's Search for God.
Oh, okay. So I do remember that.
Red. It is red.
It was red, yeah. The blue one was the truth book, the truth that leads to everlasting or eternal life. And that was the book before the Live Forever book that everyone used to get people to convert.
Oh, yeah.
Remember every few months or every year or so, they would actually take us to a paragraph in the Live Forever book and say, cross that out, it's wrong.
Oh my God, yes. And then the Revelation book.
They changed it back. And then they changed it back again. The part about if the people from Sodom and Gomorrah are going to be in the resurrection. Oh my God, over and over.
They should have just wrote maybe. X, maybe, question mark. I need a new book. I've got too many cross marks on this one. I can't read it anymore.
One would wonder.
So one might assume, yes. It would be logical to assume.
Yes. Yeah. The only natural conclusion we can come to is.
Yes.
What is their conclusion in the book? Now, or the last one that you guys know of?
Oh, I don't have a clue.
Nah.
I remember that my brother-in-law was so anti-homosexual. He was like, the only place in the Bible where God destroys 2 cities, and it was because of homosexuality. You know he hates them. 2 whole cities. Yeah.
Shit.
Not the.
Hey, Janice.
Yeah.
Janice, did you? I think you pioneered in our congregation, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah. I had health problems, so I didn't quite make it a full year, but I tried.
And yet you failed.
Right?
Because didn't they make you feel like that? I remember I quit doing regular auxiliary, and they were like, "Oh, you're not going to make your hours?" I'm like, "I was in the hospital."
Doesn't matter.
Sorry.
No, a couple of pioneers actually stopped talking to me. They were disappointed in me because I wasn't making my hours.
Are you kidding me?
Uh-huh. And then one pioneer, she got caught gossiping behind my back, and she started telling the other pioneers, is she even planning on going to meetings? So,
no way.
And and I was so sick, guys, at the time. So, but it just shows you there was no compassion really.
Damn, that is so cold.
Well, if you don't have compassion for your own children if they sin,
Right.
you know, it's not a big leap to not have compassion for your fellow witnesses when they're not, you know, living up to the standard.
Right. It's all very calculated, isn't it?
Totally. Yeah. And it's all about guilt and shame and each other, you know, talking behind each other's back to push and push and push to be better than one another.
Right.
They forget that gossip is a sin too.
Right, they forget that. But if it's under the pretext of we're worried about her spiritual health,
right?
She's not even making the congregation average now. I mean, that's like a grave sin there.
Yeah. I have felt their wrath about that.
Yeah. I wonder if Jesus kept track of all his hours or the apostles did.
Right.
I'm
Can
sorry.
you see them do number crunching?
Right. Sorry, you've got 10 hours and everyone else has 12. Damn you, Judas. Damn you to hell. Oh, wait. See, that's what happened. He didn't keep up on his hours.
Right. See what happens? See?
So what kind of a person was Anthony when you went to the hall with him? I'm curious.
You guys, my mic has been on mute for like the last 5 minutes.
I can
and
tell.
I've been talking. You weren't going to tell me.
Well, I didn't know that. I thought maybe you were doing what you did the other day and went into the bathroom. I wasn't actually
That's
asked
funny.
you a question.
Okay.
I've been on mute for like 5 minutes thinking I was talking to you guys. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
The girls are ignoring me.
I was like, what's the problem? It's acting like I'm not even here.
I thought to myself, wow, he's really listening intently. Okay, that's cool.
He's letting Kelly take the lead on this one. Where's my napkin for my head? Hang on, I need a hanky. Oh my God, I love it when you laugh like that.
too great.
That's hilarious.
Too funny.
Let's choke him to death by laughter.
It can happen, I think.
I think it could. It sounded like it.
You ever laugh so hard that you get lightheaded and feel like you're about to pass out?
I'm
No.
afraid I'm going to tear something inside when I laugh that hard.
Yeah, that too. I love to laugh.
So you asked me how he was.
Right.
He was sweet and friendly and really, really smart and mischievous.
Really? That
very
shocks
accurate.
me about him.
I still haven't fully recovered from the time when you took a gigantic June bug off the screen door and threw it at my hair.
Is that like
Because
a giant
you wanted-
cockroach?
You
Is that
wanted
what
to
that
see the
is?
funny noises that I would make.
Oh my God.
I would have.
It's like a giant cockroach. But think of the size of a giant cockroach, but with a hard
shell.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought
It
cockroaches
feels like-
didn't have hard shells. So it's like
No,
more
it's
like a
just hard.
beetle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
They fly.
Yep.
Yes, they do.
Ah!
And they fly at you.
And if you stroke them, they make little hissing noises. It's very interesting. But I don't want one in my hair. And then,
Right.
so I said, Anthony, don't. And he was just, the wheels were turning in his head, you know? And I think a force beyond him caused him to actually throw that thing at me. And then as soon as it hit my hair, you said, I probably shouldn't have done that, huh?
Are you serious?
Oh my God.
What a dumbass.
How old was he?
A grown ass man.
Oh.
Crazy.
21 or something, right? Oh, wait, you don't want to give your age.
I was 22.
What year was
Okay.
that? Quick. Everybody get their calculators.
Yeah, exactly.
I know how old you are.
Way
Way older than me.
But
June bug.
yeah, that's pretty fun. Pretty funny. Remember those videos that we used to do? Roman had that camera,
Oh, yeah.
and Roman and I, being the board witness with nothing to do really, that's allowed. He had a video camera, and we recorded all these silly, nerdy JW skits. They weren't JW skits, but put on by nerdy JWs.
Right. Was it one of those giant VHS tape type?
Yep.
Yes. Does he still own these videos?
He said he does. He said he has them in storage.
I think I need to friend this person.
Am I in them, Anthony?
Huh?
Am I in them? Because I don't remember it.
I think no. I don't think you're in them.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the night you and Cynthia came over to see them.
Oh, right.
And we were just sitting around watching them. Like, oh, you got to see this shit. It's funny. And we're in the middle of watching them, and no, we watched them all. And then OJ interrupted on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Chase.
Mm.
And that was when I was telling Chelsea in another episode that I had a friend who said that, and it was she says he should just kill himself.
Oh my God.
You don't remember saying that? Like,
What?
Is it okay to say that?
Oh.
Just off himself, and then he'll end up in paradise.
He should just kill himself. Maybe that's what she was thinking.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Totally, that's exactly what she had been thinking. It's
That's
been a mystery out there.
It's the mindset.
Isn't it weird? It's almost like a religion that glorifies death, because it's like, well, once you're dead, you passed all the tests, and you get to just be immediately transported to paradise.
Right.
Right.
Well, my dad used to always say that. The wages of sin is death. The wages of sin is death.
Yeah.
That's such a it's such a mind-fuckery statement.
It is.
Like, okay, fuck, I don't want to die. Okay, but when I die, at least I'll wake up and be in paradise.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a real, one of those witnesses who want to be perfect, you think about that all the time. It's like, well, that's the only way I'm going to get to paradise because I'm so horrible. Terrible person.
Like the Bible tells us to.
Go ahead. What was that, Janice?
No, the Bible tells people to love themselves, but at the same time, it tells them how horrible and worthless they are.
Right.
So
Right.
it is like a mindfuck.
Totally.
It is.
Yeah, I just remember that stress of just feeling like. I remember I would have periods of feeling like, all right, if it well ends tonight, I'll be fine.
Uh-huh.
And then majority of the time, like, fuck, I hope it doesn't end anytime soon. Because shit I need to work on.
I'm going to get my act together. I need to play more. I need to study more.
Oh, that's so funny because
Stop
I'd
watching
say
R-rated movies.
I'd say it's that way about 99% of the time. Walking around in fear for your life.
Exactly, and it's a good 10% where you're like, I'm fucking great.
Yeah, I'm
man.
so
Shit.
good right now. I'm pioneering. Jehovah loves me.
I haven't masturbated in 6 weeks.
You and God. Janice is like, nope.
Haven't seen an R-rated movie or haven't cussed or nothing.
See, I never. My deal was not cussing.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was just I didn't get out in service enough, and
that's it.
Study
Like,
enough. I did watch like some R-rated movies if they were on TV. My parents would watch. They would rent R-rated movies, and I would sit at the table, which was in the adjacent room, but well within their view, and I would study. Because I felt so like, you're supposed to be the example, but okay, I guess I'll be.
While you're watching the movie, too.
Well, I wouldn't watch it. That was my slip-up time, is when I would watch stuff. And of course, I would pray, I'm so sorry I watched that. But man, Ghost was really good.
Right.
It didn't bother them? Apparently not.
No, did not, apparently, because they kept watching. No. My parents were odd.
Okay.
If there was cussing in the movie, they wouldn't watch it. But if there was nudity and violence, they were totally okay.
That's crazy.
That was my dad's view. It's like, he could not stand cussing, but if there was nudity or violence, he was totally okay with it. Oh, and it couldn't be any demon crap, quote unquote, like Ghost was demon crap, so we couldn't watch that.
No, of course not.
The first time I heard of Pulp Fiction, Charles had seen it. He had just seen it, and he told me about it. He's like, yeah, me and my brother and a few other people went and saw it. And I'm like, how is it? Man, he's like, man, the movie's pretty crazy. He's like, some guy got raped in it. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, we're probably gonna go see it again. I'm like, what?
most violent movie ever. We got to do that again. Yeah.
We're gonna go see it again.
Yeah.
And I was just floored. I mean, literally, I was floored just hearing about the movie. And then when I actually saw it, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. I got in really big trouble because somebody told on me for seeing Showgirls. And that was like NC-17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got in big trouble for seeing that. And what a...
How did you let somebody see you watching that?
Well, they were in the store apparently when we were renting the movie. I don't know how with their super X-ray vision they could see what it was.
your worst case scenario that could happen while renting that movie.
Oh my God.
And then they told.
And how'd you explain that one?
I just said it was a bad decision. I felt verbally what a scum I was for doing it. And how I immediately regretted it. Yeah. I love her laugh. It's cracking me up.
Did you immediately regret it, really?
I immediately regretted it. Because it was shit.
Yeah, you regretted getting caught.
Oh, man, I did. And then, man, it was so humiliating, too.
Of course.
Like, oh, my God, they're going to think I'm gay.
Right, exactly. Exactly what I was thinking.
Yep.
I just want to see naked women.
Right.
You know, I watched a little porn when I was a Jehovah's Witness.
You harlot. Oh, my God.
I just couldn't take it. I was so curious. And I was horny, too. And so here, you know, I'm watching these movies, and then eventually I felt like I had to go to the elders and let them know.
Oh, you told
what
them?
I had done. I really did, because it was weighing on my conscience terribly. And it's like, you know, it's just basic curiosity, but they made me feel like a criminal.
Right. Like you're a pervert.
Mm-hmm. But they were actually understanding. And
really?
and then they had a public needs talk. Oh my God! I was like trying to be as poker face as possible.
See, everyone in the hall would have known it's me because I would be bright purple and sweating. That's how I was such a guilty person. Like any little infraction. I one time as an 18-year-old girl, I told on myself because I had said "uckfay." And I went and told the brother. Yep. And they're like, you need to not do that. And that was it. But I was like, I'm such a scum.
But after you confess, don't you feel all pure inside?
Oh, I did. Totally did. I purged.
And like your feet don't touch the ground for like a day. Jehovah loves me again. I'm not going to be stoned like Achan and his family.
Right. If Armageddon comes right now, I've cleansed. I'm white as snow.
Hey, just hit the reset button today.
Right.
Thank God.
Sins are forgiven.
Come on, Armageddon.
Yeah, I know. Bring it, Satan.
Doesn't matter who runs the faith. I'm good.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, that's good that they were understanding, man, because everyone I ever had to talk to in a committee type way, which is only like two or three different times, they were jackasses. I mean, they were mean and cold. I'm glad that you had someone understanding.
Yeah, I got lucky that way, but I didn't always have understanding elders, just in that one particular situation.
Yeah.
Was it humiliating at all, though? Were they understanding enough to make it not humiliating?
You know how it was, Anthony. I mean, and I don't say this as a way to brag or anything. I don't. But people thought I was kind of like innocent, you know?
Right.
And so they were so shocked. They just kept shaking their head and saying, "We never would have thought it would be you."
Oh my God.
And I was kind of like, yeah, I get that a lot.
Oh my God.
So it was embarrassing. They almost found it to be funny.
Oh, yeah.
Trying not to laugh.
Oh. See, that would have absolutely killed me. I would have probably went off myself. Oh, God, they know. I'm a perv.
Like you're sitting there naked in front of them, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, my gosh. When I had to explain my husband and I's lack of sex life, they asked every single detail of any kind of sexual act you could possibly have. Well, did you do this? No. Did you do this? Oh, well, what about that? No, we did not. But he did say I was really cute when all my hair fell out and I looked like a 12-year-old boy.
Uh,
That is not funny, Anthony.
No.
I didn't laugh.
Oh, not that your hair fell out and you're like a
I
12-year-old
was
boy.
80 pounds and all my hair fell out, so I cut it very short. And he said,
But
what's that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's what I was
And
gonna
he
ask you.
told me that he liked me that way, that I looked really cute that way. And he had never complimented my looks before at all.
You don't think that's worthy of laughter? That's
Oh, it
hilarious.
is. It is funny. I was teasing you. No, it's hilarious. It is. I did look like a 12-year-old boy. He's like, can I
Oh,
call
my
you
God.
Joe?
That was his thing.
Deepen your voice and let's call you Joe.
This is Jordan.
Hi, Bobby.
I like you in jeans and Converse All Stars.
Yeah, that is my go-to look, you know.
Yeah. Just some regular Levi's and Converse All Stars.
Yeah.
Wear more T-shirts, babe.
Well, you know, in the 90s, I was wearing jeans and flannels, so I kind of, you know,
Perfect.
right? And boots.
Well,
That sounds like
Where
a
were you?
grunge look.
yeah, I was picturing Seattle or something.
Oh, yeah.
Where were you?
I was in, well, half of the time in the 90s, I was in California, and then the other half I was in Seattle.
Those are two good places to be in the 90s.
Oh, man, yeah.
Well, not as a witness.
And yet,
so.
I was a witness. Yes, I was just going to say. That would have been awesome had I gone downtown Seattle into the...
Yeah.
But no, I did not.
In the 90s in LA was popping too.
Mhm.
When I started to miss meetings, I linked up with some old friends that I was not in touch with anymore because I was a witness.
They're
Yeah.
bad associates.
Yeah.
Did they spoil your useful habits? They're
Oh man, and I welcomed every bit of it. to clubs and shit, parties. Yeah, it was so cool.
I wish I had done that, but I was
I t-
just a lot more strict, I guess. But like I would go to rock concerts. That was one of my bad things.
Right.
I didn't care. I was going to go see Alice Cooper, and nobody could talk me out of it. Nobody.
Alice Cooper.
so awesome.
Alice Cooper, Janice. I don't know if I ever told you when I worked at Blockbuster Video when I was back in '91,
Yeah.
and I'm working the rental stand or whatever. Alice Cooper walks up, rents his video. What?
What did he rent?
The Bosom Buddies season 1. I don't know.
I
I'm
love
so
Alice.
jealous.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Bosom Buddies?
Alice Cooper. I've loved him since I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was the devil until I was a little older, and then I actually listened to his music. Oh my God, he's so scary. And why does he call himself Alice?
Right,
Why is he singing about school being out?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know any
So
of his
scary.
music till I was older and a little bit rebellious.
Isn't that an Alice Cooper song, Janice?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay. School's out for summer.
Yep.
So, what other kind of artists did you go see?
Robert Plant and Jimmy Page.
Oh my God! I would have a
what?
heart attack if I actually
Yes.
got to see them.
Oh,
Yeah, but that was a Plant Page.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not even going to get started because I'll go off.
Oh, I
But
know.
anyway, so like Rush also and Jeff Beck.
Nice.
While you were a witness.
Yes, I was going and nobody could stop me. I don't
How
care.
did that-
I didn't care if Led Zeppelin was the devil. I was going.
Yeah,
Right.
they have satanic ties. I don't care. Damn symbols. What do they mean? Yeah.
Isn't it funny how every single Jehovah's Witness that you've ever met can just make up the rules as they go along when they feel like it? I mean,
My
there
dad-
are people.
Oh, I know. My dad was like that. He was like, "Do you see those symbols? That's pagan symbols." I was like, really? He's like, "Yeah, if you play their music backwards, it talks about the devil." I was like, "How do you know?" And he's like, "Well, one time we were on this acid trip." I was like, "You were on an acid trip, Dad."
Right.
Small detail.
End of story. Right.
Yeah.
Small detail.
That's
Remember,
my point.
Did you guys? Were you guys ever in circles that felt the Procter & Gamble logo was demonic?
Oh my God. Some
Christian,
people
that.
Some people wouldn't even use that product.
Right. When you buy Colgate.
I got an email after I left the JWs from, my husband's circle of people are all like fundamentalist Christians, and I got an email about Procter & Gamble and all of their products to boycott. Also Starbucks. Because the mermaid is actually the goddess something or other. The split-tail mermaid.
And this is what people spend their time doing.
I know.
Right.
Well, that's why they boycotted Christmas with their red and green cup. So
Isn't that funny?
Christmas. They're taking the Christ out of Christmas. It says Merry Christmas on it.
Yes, it is.
And it's red and green. Yeah.
Yes.
I remember someone and explaining to me why Christmas is so bad, and it's like look at the name Santa. You change the letters around. Santa.
No.
Satan. Yeah, you never heard that before.
I
know why
didn't.
I'm laughing so hard is because remember the Saturday Night Live skit of the church lady?
I loved her.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
yeah.
Well, it's not special.
It'd say Satan.
I don't know. Maybe Satan.
Oh,
No,
And we just proved our age.
I know.
oh no, I heard about it from somebody.
Right,
else.
right. YouTube, baby. YouTube.
Yeah, it came on after the
Retro.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians on the E channel the other night.
God, no. Ew. I used to like you. I just dropped that just a few points on the Kardashian statement.
Oh, I don't watch it. I've seen it though.
Yeah, who hasn't? So, how old were you when you finally left the Witnesses, and what was kind of your final straw, Janice?
I was 38, and the final straw was.
Wait, really quick before you say what that was.
Yes.
So, you were in all. You weren't. Were you literally born in?
Yes, I was.
In a Kingdom Hall? Sorry, he said literally. I'm sorry.
So 38 years. You've been a witness your whole entire 38 years.
Well, I had a couple of years where I just decided to leave as a teenager, and then I had some bad experiences, and I wound up
Running back.
running back exactly, and feeling like, oh, look how Jehovah used Satan to punish me because I went out. So technically, it wasn't the whole 38 years, but yeah.
But you believed, probably,
Always.
while you were out. Yeah.
Oh, always. So I just figured, well, I'm going to die at Armageddon if it comes.
That's me too.
I'm
Yeah.
going.
Were you good at being worldly for
I was
just those few years?
I was lousy at it. Lousy.
Yep. Right.
That cracks
mean, that's
me up
it.
because that's how I was too. Everyone was like, I think that I'm social enough that people liked me, but I was also kind of odd. I was not like...
Something different about you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so
Same
square.
Right.
In the
She
long
thinks she's hip, but she's so square. She's funny, but not in ways that she thinks she is.
No. Her humor is like an old man. It really is.
She always says, gosh, that is so annoying.
Isn't it cute when she says, dang it? I never cussed when I was out in the world. Never. I didn't cuss until I had children. Isn't that weird?
Oh, I cussed like a sailor.
Oh, I do now, but it's the children. I swear it's their fault.
You swear it's
Damn it! I mean, sorry. I don't do it in front of them, but boy, my pillow knows some things.
Cussing's not the same anymore, though.
No, it's like tattoos. Everybody does it.
And if a kid wants to cuss, in my eyes, they want to cuss, and as long as they're not just using these cuss words frivolously and constantly, and at the right place, it's just a word.
I feel like that too, but not for my 8 and 6-year-old who learned all of the cuss words in first grade. So,
right,
and used them and got in trouble, and I had to come down to the school. So,
when can they cuss? When will you be okay with them cussing?
Well, my husband is way different minded than I am on that one. But for me, I think that, 14, 15.
Yeah.
At home. Maybe with their buddies, but just not at school so they don't get in trouble. And not around grandmother, that kind of thing. Be respectful of people who it bothers.
Man, if I ever cussed. Whew.
My dad never cussed. I mean, like...
Dig my grave if you ever heard me cuss as a child. That'd be so busted.
My dad said, I don't care if you're a whore. If you talk like a sailor, you're a whore. If you're a whore who acts like a lady, you're a lady. Which
nice.
is weird, but,
How old were you?
Oh, God, they said that kind of crap all the time, so I could have been anywhere from, 5 to an adult. They said that kind of, and my sister was older, so I was hearing all the stuff they talked to her about sex and what's proper and what's not. And, I have a little story just to show you how screwy their mind is. One time, my brother and I were in a terrible fight. This is when I was still a witness, and he was just awful to me. And he had been torturing me for days. And I turned around and I told him, I fucking hate you. And I walked away. I was probably 24. And my mother flipped out. And she's like, Kelly, get in the car. And of course I did. And she's like, you said the F word. And I looked at her and I was like, you're more concerned that I said the F word than
I hate you? I know.
Your brother.
Right.
So, yeah, they were weird.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Mm-hmm.
Which is worse, the fuck part or the I hate you part?
I was way more concerned about the fuck part than the actually hating my brother.
Wow.
Which I didn't actually.
Cold-hearted.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the time. I was probably like 6. My mom's driving down the street, and my oldest brother was in the front seat, and my middle brother was riding in the back with me, and he was doing something, messing with me. He had to been like 9 or whatever. And maybe he hit me, or I hit him, and he hit me back. And I said, Basto? I didn't know what the fuck I was saying. Didn't know what a Basto was.
You knew it was bad.
I don't know. I think it was my attempt at shouting out an expletive. Maybe
right.
I just wasn't familiar with them enough yet. Mm-hmm. And my mom fucking reached back and smacked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck did I just do?
Mom, it's not even the real password.
What did I say?
Yeah.
Kids today never have to worry about that kind of shit happening. They get turned,
yeah.
Don't say that word because it's not a good word.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like this word. No explanation when I was growing up.
And
my son one time was mad at me, and he's got a lot of issues, so every once in a while he's like really, really angry, and he goes, "You're just a fool, aren't you? You're just a fool." And I was like, "Oh, that's a bad word. That's so mean." That is bad. He was like, "You are, you know." I was like, "Okay." He's a very innocent boy. He learned all kinds of fun things at school, though, I have to say. He got in trouble at school for saying fuck, and I was like, honey, where did you hear that? I have a pair of socks that say carpe the fuck out of the diem. He read it off my stupid sock. He said it at school. I was like, my bad.
You gotta watch every little thing with kids.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Roman from our group, I've known him since he was like 2 or maybe 2 years old. And I was a little kid. I was probably like 7 or whatever. And he couldn't say truck. The way that he said truck, it sounded like fuck every time. And I remember being in the car with his family, and him in his car seat. Roman, say truck. Fuck. Say it again. Fuck. Anthony, stop doing that.
You got
stop telling him to say that. Yeah, Roman, don't say that.
So
fuck.
That's so awesome. I love little kids when they grow up like that. My nephews would call my brother Scott, and I have a brother Elliot, and they would call him Uncle Idiot and Uncle Cock. It was the best, and I'd say, you have to say their name, and they're like, knock it off, Kelly, knock it off. And I'm like, no, all the time. Where's Uncle Idiot? Shut up. What are you smoking, Anthony? Or am I just that funny?
You're hilarious.
He always laughs with his whole heart.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
It sounded like he snorted a second ago, and I nearly went.
I did. I did.
I think he stopped breathing at one point.
I know. Breathe, damn it, breathe.
I feel like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Kelly's on a roll. You always are, though.
Yeah.
I try.
Be on.
There's another little kid that I know that, you know that Dr. Seuss book, Fox in Socks?
Yes.
We were at a friend's house, and their little boy must have been about 4 or 5 at the time, and they had sent him to bed. And he went to bed, and then he stands at the top of their stairs, he puts his hands on his hips, and he goes, "Where's my fucking sock?" And one of the guys looks at his dad and said, "What'd he say?" And the dad, without missing a beat, said, "He's looking for his fucking socks." And we had already heard him say that, so my husband and I were just dying. This guy's eyes were like saucers. It was awesome.
How old was he?
The little kid, he's probably about 4 or 5. But he was very adamant that was his book, and his little hands were on his hips. Where are my fucking socks?
I remember one time I thought I was going to be clever, and I was going to say a cuss word right in front of my mother, and just to see what would happen. My curiosity overwhelmed my sense of danger. So I was in the bathtub with bubbles all around, and I said, "Oh shit, there's a bubble on my nose." And she was right there next to me. She was helping me take a bath. I was like 5, and she said, "What did you say?" with her teeth clenched. So I said shit, and she smacked me. And you gotta remember, this was a different time, you know. Not that I'm giving my answer away. But anyway, yeah, Anthony and we got smacked and we survived it.
I did too.
But needless to say, I never said a cuss word around my mom again.
Oh, man. I remember coming home from school, and, oh, man. I was a 8th grader, and I asked my mother what a cunt was. And she's like, "Where did you hear that?" I was like, what does it mean? Because it was my sister. Yeah.
And
I was very open about asking questions about whatever. I remember my brother come home from school and asked about what a blowjob was, and my parents explained in detail stuff to us when we were way too little to know. Well, son, gah!
Instead of her vagina, she puts it in her mouth.
Well, he used little kid terms. Like, well, that's when somebody puts their pee-pee in a girl's mouth. And I was like, why would anybody do that?
Right, of course.
Ew.
Why? What the
That
fuck?
was dirty. Yep.
Why would anybody do
I was like 5, maybe younger. I don't remember how old my brother was, so.
That is too young.
Can you even imagine the thought process behind saying that in front of your babies?
Right.
Good Lord.
Right.
Yeah.
The need to explain that?
Yeah.
She thought she was being a good mom.
No, it was my father. My mother was like mortified at everything that came out of my dad's mouth. James, do you have to? Oh my God. Yeah.
We touched on a little bit in the podcast with Autumn. Remember the TV shows that you'd have to miss out on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Going because of the meetings every week, and if you're very zealous, you could just count on never ever seeing the show. I never seen a full episode of the A-Team to this day.
Don't. It'll ruin the memory for you. It's on Netflix, and it's not good.
Oh, I know I wouldn't like it now if I could
Ruined
catch
it for
it.
me.
Yeah, there's a lot of good
Director.
shows that. A lot of shows that you loved when you were a kid, and you watch it now, like, what the fuck is this shit?
Well, you know, the first show as an adult that I realized that about was I was telling my husband, who again grew up fundamentalist, didn't see more shows than I didn't see, and I was like, "Have you ever seen Spaceballs? It's hilarious." Stupidest show I ever saw as an adult.
Yeah,
As a kid, man, we wore out a tape on that one. But
All right.
Yeah, so don't ever watch A-Team or Knight Rider or any of them.
And then you would say, right? Oh, Saturday morning, we'll catch the cartoons on Saturday morning. No, you won't. You'll go out in service.
The best part of service on a Saturday was breaking for lunch. We get to eat out with everyone.
Yeah.
I used to think when I was a more hour. Sorry, Anthony. Exactly, or McDonald's.
Yeah, somewhere with no nutrition.
Yes.
Good Times was one of those shows. Fucking loved Good Times. Tried to watch it as an adult. What the heck is this buffoonery?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And how did our parents sit through that crap for us to watch, though? That's what
they liked it too.
Yeah, but was it just a different mindset back then? Because my parents liked all the shows that we were watching and enjoyed back then as well. I look at some shows that are, even like Lethal Weapon. How dumb is that now? And before it was cool.
Yeah. Or those slasher flicks, even like Jason or whatever.
Oh my gosh, those terrified me.
So stupid.
Yeah.
I think it was a simpler time, though.
It must have been.
It totally was.
Because Freddy
Can't
Krueger
deny.
terrified me.
Yeah.
They've entertainment just steps it up all the time. Like humor today, and as a society, people even are so much funnier than like 20 years ago or something.
Yeah, but if you look at other cultures' humor too, and translate it, it's so silly. I mean, I think that maybe in America, it's or even in the Western society, I should say, our humor is more advanced, almost.
I would say it's a little bit cynical.
Right.
Oh, totally.
But it's evolved so much, I should have said, not necessarily advanced. Advanced in an evolution type way. Because you look at like certain Asian cultures or even like Mexican TV and you put on like translation, it's such a different type of humor than ours.
Yeah, our humor is so like sarcastic or something.
Very, yeah.
Right?
And there's always those few comedians who are not afraid to look stupid, and they, like Will Ferrell, and he's a master at it.
Oh,
but a lot of the celebrities seem to actually be like more sophisticated, where they wouldn't do that. Whereas in other countries, they're still okay with like crazy game shows where everyone's covered in whipped cream and stuff like that.
Right. Laugh-In. Have you ever tried to watch Laugh-In?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Dumb.
Yeah. And speaking of Saturday morning cartoons, remember Schoolhouse Rock?
Yes, I did.
Teach you how to do teach you what an adjective is, right?
Junction. What? Remember that one, Jill?
Yeah, I didn't learn shit from those, by the way, though.
Me either. I just like the song. When I was real little, I used to be like, dude, I don't understand it.
Yeah, like 3 times 9, 27. 3 times is 18. 3 times 9 is, and that's all I knew were those words. I didn't know that 3 times 9 was 20. Was 27 after that.
Oh. See, I remembered all that stuff, and it helped. It helped in school.
Yeah.
Really? Good.
I was a weird kid. Yeah. Like, what's a bill?
Yeah, I
remember all that stuff.
I still didn't get it. That song made no sense to me. It was a great song. I'm just a bill. Sitting here on Capitol Hill. All I knew is he was a piece of paper sitting on some steps.
Oh no.
He's unappreciated.
Right, unappreciated. And that's not what it was about, right? He was just it was an actual bill. It's not about being unappreciated. I felt so bad for him. Like nobody liked him or something.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to help him, but I didn't. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Did I say 3 times 9 was 27?
You did. It is.
You learned, Anthony.
He's like, wait, I just had to get my calculator to make sure that's right.
Totally did. I can't even barely divide anymore. Shit.
That's what we use electronics for now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that science has made us lazy. Science and technology.
Oh, it has. Oh my gosh.
Everything's at our fingertips with information and stuff like that.
I have no problem with it.
Well, I'm not going to give it up. That's for sure. I'm just aware. I'm just aware of some of the less positive consequences.
Right,
That's
just
all.
observing what's been going on. Not that we're trying to change this. So,
Right.
I mean, like, it wasn't bad when people stopped washing their clothes on rocks and scrub boards and started using a washing machine. It left more free time for them. That could be a good thing, depending on how you use it.
Totally.
My father would disagree with that. He is very anti-technology and washing machines. I actually washed clothes.
And washing machines.
I'm not kidding. We washed clothes with a wringer washer, hand cranking that crap.
Wow.
Yeah. They live right now totally off grid.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why I'm not that savvy with headphones there, mister.
Not because you're a girl or anything.
Oh, I want to smack you so hard.
Is that the mansplaining I've been hearing?
Is that
Is that an example of this mansplaining that I've been hearing about?
Yeah.
Down to her because she's a woman like you know her. Okay.
Oh, no.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I had a problem 3 times in a row. My headphones, I screwed them up somehow, and Anthony walked me through it. And he was trying to be patient.
Yeah.
He did not make it.
You got your headphones working, right?
I got it right now. I know how to do it. It only took 3 times. 3 times for emphasis, right? I had a W 3 times. Now I'm an okay.
What was I just thinking of a moment ago? Technology. I feel sorry for anybody who doesn't embrace it.
Oh, yeah.
You're cut off from the world basically now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why would somebody want to resist being able to have all the knowledge of the world at their fingertips?
Right.
I don't know. I have no idea.
How much smarter we are now because of that.
Yes.
Don't have to go get I was going to say catalog, encyclopedia.
Yep.
Oh, and they're outdated practically as soon as you get them.
I know.
Yeah. And to think about the search time for the word as opposed to Googling something in 4 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah. And you don't get just one result, you get thousands of results.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how many times a day I think of something and I don't necessarily know the answer. I just grab my phone.
We are definitely much smarter society than for all this stuff.
And now Siri takes away the typing obligation.
Yeah.
My dad's one of those mad scientist types that he has a photographic memory and he's a genius and he thinks it's going to be the death of society. So
Nah.
I was like, no, that's Armageddon.
What a shame though to have that much stress over something that you can't control.
Yeah. Well, isn't that kind of how we all kind of felt like that, not necessarily the technology part, but that constant pressure of imminent destruction and people that you know, your neighbors and animals. And I mean, if you're an animal lover, just thinking of
the kids next door.
Right. You know, anyone you work with who doesn't accept Jehovah.
No, but each and every one of them will have a chance to hear the word of Jehovah and turn to him.
But Anthony, toward the end of my stay in the organization, they were already saying that was not true. They flip-flopped on that.
Right. Yes, they did. Yes. That broke my heart when they started flip-flopping on that, because at first I thought, well, who would say, no, I'm against Jehovah, if they actually knew that he was God? I felt like so many would be saved, and then when they were flip-flopping on that, it just devastated me. Just devastated me.
They were saying something to the effect of, like, the global preaching work is like, we're just going to get most of the earth, but there might be little pockets of people that we don't get to, and Jehovah knows what to do.
Those are the only ones who are going to have the chance. Yeah.
And I thought to myself, you need this rotten person, this horrible gossip backstabber who's sitting next to me at the Kingdom Hall, whoever that person might be.
Right.
They're going to make it, and this kind person that I know at work is not going to make it. Right. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah. My big thing was kids, babies, because of their parents' sin, they would die.
Yeah,
that was horrid. Horrid.
Did you ever just sit there and have a moment? Jehovah is a baby killer. I had moments like that.
I didn't. Because I think that I believe. I mean, once I was out of all religion, and once I actually had my own children, then I was like, he is a baby killer, and then I didn't believe in him anymore, so it didn't matter. But as a witness, or at least a believer, I was like, he's so different than us, yet we are made in his image. It just didn't. It was so hard for me because I couldn't imagine. I even talked to my father about it. It's like, how could he kill all these people and innocent children? And he goes, well, that's not on him. That's on the parents. It's not his fault. It's the parents. And it was just so hard to make sense of all that.
Mine was when my kids were like 3 and 5, and that's when I really wrapped my head around the Great Tribulation.
Yeah.
And I just thought of them like putting a gun to my little kid's head or whatever.
Yeah.
Denounce Jehovah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they paint the Great Tribulation.
And they may kill your children, but you have to.
Yep. You'll see him again.
Yeah.
And here we walk around with this sort of imagery in our mind, like, oh, are they going to I'd be like this. Are they going to waterboard me? You know.
Right.
Right. I know.
You know, let snakes fall all over me and all these can't.
Yeah.
Well, I became a diabetic at 9, an insulin-dependent diabetic when I was 9 years old. And all I could think was, someday they're going to hold my insulin in their hand. Right? That was what my, thing was. It's like, well, I'm going to be suffering that way.
Yeah.
We'll give you your insulin if you denounce Jehovah.
Right. Because they have to use whatever means possible.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's like emotional abuse. I feel like
it was horrible as a kid. Absolutely.
When they make you have to have those thoughts as part of your faith.
Just think about all the people who have PTSD because of this shit.
Yes.
I mean, they really are diagnosed with that. It's not just from the abuse of, psychotic parents who joined up, but it's also the doctrine that they had to live with that emotional pressure at all times for years.
Yeah.
That's why you have to deprogram.
How do they do that? How do they deprogram?
Well, I mean, going to counseling is a big part of that. I mean, but even letting yourself out into the world and really looking at people as they're not all evil, that's a big step for a witness to realize that it's not black and white. It's not us versus them. There are some good people. There are some really, really good people, and there are some bad people, and there are some sort of bad people, and sort of, there's a variation in everybody. It's not black and white.
Right.
That's such a hard thing for me. It was a hard thing, and I held on to that us versus them mentality for a very long time. I felt like, the world's bad. You can't trust anybody,
It was a trip for me. The first time I started looking at people as human beings and not goats.
Yeah. Right.
It was like a wall was lifted that I didn't even know was there. It was this barrier of the us and them thing, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, wow, these people they make mistakes, but that doesn't make them bad people. It doesn't make them worthy of death. It just makes them human. And it was really a trip to sort of integrate with that.
I mean, just the statement, they're not worthy of death. I mean, I remember when I first had my little boy in kindergarten. He went to a Christian private school, and he asked me one time, he's like, Mama, was I a bad baby? I was like, what? He goes, was I a bad baby? I said, no, honey. He goes, then why does God want to kill all the babies? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, when we're born, we have sin. I was like, and that would be enough of that school,
Oh, goodness. And how old was he?
He was 6. He was 6 when he was in kindergarten.
Such a messed up
Isn't
thing.
that horrible? I was like, they're
kids
not
home
going back. No way. Because, I mean, there was a couple of things like that, very Old Testament type teaching for little bitty kids. I was like, absolutely not. No.
Brainwashing starts early. It has to.
It does. And that's why I kind of have my own opinion on organized religion as a whole. I believe in freedom of religion, but I am not a part of any of it myself.
That's basically how I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are agnostic, both of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm agnostic, leaning strongly towards atheism.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep, only because I can't for sure say that there's no God.
Right.
But there was a point where I actually said to myself, this was around the time that I was going to leave. I thought about the way some of the friends had treated me, and I said to myself, if this is the sort of behavior that Jehovah tolerates, then I don't want to be in his new system.
Right. That's how I felt too.
It got that bad.
Yeah.
I just, from my aunt, I have a message from her. She sent me one of those chain texts. I challenge you to send Jesus loves you to 15 people. Let's see if you have time for Jesus.
Oh.
You guys ever just, and you're the ones that say, and I want one back. I want you to send me one back. Do you ever just send them just like, fuck it?
No. I absolutely refuse.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to let somebody on Facebook who I don't even know tell me what to do.
Right. Absolutely.
No. I said, this is my aunt. Like somebody who's close to you, maybe.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I still don't do it.
I don't. No. I did for a while, like when I was first on Facebook and I was going to church and all, I got all that stuff. And then I was like, so Jesus can't read my heart? What? I mean, come on. I don't know. It got to the point of, it was such bullcrap and it was such a showy type thing of, look at how faithful I am. Like, I type out 100 emails to everybody saying how much Jesus loves you. Do you accept that? I do. I hate showy crap. I hate it. I just can't stand it. So I never did really get too far into that crap.
I used to feel bad about not doing it in the beginning because I was thinking, well, I can't just ignore this person who's asking me nicely to do something, But then I realized they probably didn't want to send it out either.
Right. Oh, God.
If I send it out or not, that's what I think.
Right. What about when you're a witness and someone says, happy holidays at the store?
I was very nice about it. I said thank you, but I didn't say it back. I was always like, oh, thank you so much. I was very genuine, but I did not want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I also couldn't justify saying it back.
Right.
If they said, enjoy your Christmas or something like that, I would say, you too. But I never would, I would never try and make them feel bad because they were going out of their way to be kind. And that was a big deal to me.
What about being alone with somebody that sneezes?
See, I was a born and that was never a thing. I had to start doing that.
You
never felt the pressure of just not saying anything at all?
Yeah, because I would think to myself, only a rude person is standing right next to somebody and not say that. And I'd feel kind of angry because I knew I wasn't a rude person. There was no way that I could say it. I could just smile, a goofy smile, like, sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but I'm not going to touch you. You can't make me. Ugh.
Well, I would be like, are you okay? You okay? But I would never say it because that was like,
Yeah, I'm okay. I just sneezed. What the fuck?
You okay? Got some allergies? What's going on there? You got a little green down by your lip.
You got some allergies? What's going on there? Oh, my God.
I don't know. As I've gotten older, I just don't really care what people think. I don't want to be rude. I'm not a rude person, but I certainly don't do things out of obligation anymore. I had that my whole life. I'm not doing that now that I'm over 40. That's enough for me.
That's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
You guys completely okay when you say bless you? Or do you...
Oh, I say it because it's a pleasantry. It's common. It's part of our society. It's not religious to me at all. It's not superstitious. It's just a nice thing to say. I don't think that people really think they need to be blessed when they have, dust in their nose.
I think that people who are anti-superstition are the most superstitious people.
They are. That's got Damon. Yeah.
I think that is so superstitious of the witnesses, too.
That's true.
So that way,
and like, just avoiding everything pagan, like as if it had a curse on it, which we know it didn't.
Right.
Well, it did if you went to a second-hand store or a garage sale.
Yeah, of course.
Cast out the demons.
Don't start having bad dreams after you just bought some.
Oh my God! Yeah, has nothing to do with you eating pizza after midnight.
Right.
Power of suggestion because they're already telling you
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
have bad.
Truly,
You're
truly.
gonna have a bad dream.
Fulfilling.
This TV's got to go.
Damn it. Nice, too.
Love that TV too. Damn.
One time I was, excuse me, one time I was listening to my Rush tape, and yes, I'm dating myself. And it started to, the tape got caught, and it started to warble and play backwards. So I'm sure you guys know what I thought. I was like, I felt goosebumps, on the back of my neck. And I don't believe that by disobeying Jehovah's commands about heavy metal and hard rock,
Oh my God.
I brought it into my house. And then, as soon as I discovered what happened, I went out and bought another tape.
Hilarious. I've done that too.
Yeah.
I've thrown away hip hop CDs
And then been like,
about the same one again.
Yeah.
And then somebody gave me a Portishead CD. This guy from work gave me a Portishead CD. And I fucking love Portishead. You guys familiar with Portishead? Janice, you liked it. Actually, you came over while I was playing it, and you were blown away by it.
I have a vague remembrance. What did they like?
Unlike anything else, really.
I mean, did they remind you of Fish at all?
No.
Okay.
I can't even really just describe their sound.
Like Pink Floyd?
It's still their own sound, pretty much.
Okay, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to check that out.
I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same.
Look up the song "It Could Be Sweet" by Portishead.
Okay.
But anyways, I'm playing it in my car, and I go to work one day, and this other guy from work hears me playing it. He's like, "Man, it's a good CD." He goes, I used to have that CD too." He said, I got rid of mine." I'm like, why? He's like, they quote the satanic scriptures when they wrote some of those songs. Fuck!
I did not hear that.
I love this CD. Had to go.
I think some of these incidents were actually, when this is a term that I came up with, but I'm sure other people have heard it, a Jehovah's Witness urban legend.
Right, totally. Yes.
Because I mean, one elder was saying that he made his son get rid of some heavy metal albums, like Kiss, for example. And he said that when they tried to burn the albums, the eyes of the musicians glowed and it wouldn't burn. Yeah. And I thought to myself, you know what? That is such bullshit. I can't even believe somebody laid in bed with a goofy smile on their face and made up this story and said, I'm going to spread it around.
Right.
And everybody adopted it as their own because, all congregations heard crap like that.
Mm-hmm. Never saw it, but you always heard somebody know somebody.
Yeah, right. Sister's brother's cousin.
Twice removed.
Right.
My sister's brother's cousin. So your cousin.
Oh, shut up. It could be Step.
I see how he picks on you.
See? And I am always so nice to him. Didn't you notice?
Yeah, but how do you treat him when I'm not listening? I don't know.
I am so nice all the time. I am a very kind person.
It's true.
Oh, that was so mean of me. God, man.
Have you seen my picture? I look very innocent. Very innocent.
There's something about your eyes that suggests danger.
What? What?
Right. Right, Janice.
Right? A little bit.
Yeah.
Like, hi! Don't mess with me or I'll shank you. I love it.
Don't ever leave. I'll find you.
I love you so much.
It's the apparent innocence, and then the eyes are like, "Are you really buying this?"
Right.
So I guess maybe we should wrap it up at this point.
Okay.
It was so fun, Janice. I'm
Very
so glad we
fun.
got to talk.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
You guys,
This is your guys'
laugh.
first
My
time?
throat hurts now from laughing.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
feel bad about your pain, but I'm glad you laughed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I laughed.
I know. We tried to kill Anthony with laughter.
He always bounces back, damn it. I like when he's struggling for air. That's the best part.
It's like, if I was standing in front of him, I would take my fist and whack him on the chest and tell him to breathe. Breathe, damn it, breathe.
Sit down.
I'd have
Remember
to get
Anthony
to reach, but yes.
Remember Anthony when we used to watch Crooklyn?
Oh yeah.
And we would laugh so hard at certain parts.
Yeah, as if we'd never seen the movie
Right.
before.
Anyway.
And then our favorite part was the closing credits when they had them Soul Train and they danced to a modern hip hop song.
Yeah.
They had it. We thought that was just the coolest thing.
Oh, good times.
Good times. Janice, the invitation is open. Come back and do this with us.
I would love to.
Fun.
We have a lot of untold stories.
Yeah, actually, you do have to come back because, yeah, just like you said, Janice and I we talked about some things in the past that kind of like Autumn's podcast that should be heard.
Yeah.
So it would be it won't be nearly as funny as today was, but
yeah, there's some heavy stuff to discuss.
Yes. Well, thank you, Janice.
Thank you for having me. I loved it.
It was great.
Loved it, yes. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And we are out of here.
Bye.
Bye.